Have you ever pondered over the cunning methods criminals employ to mislead investigators? Today, we delve into 3 chilling true crime stories where the perpetrators altered the victim's position to throw detectives off their trail. Our first tale revolves around the sinister case of Helle Crafts from Newtown, Connecticut. Helle, a Danish flight attendant, vanished without a trace in November 1986. Her spouse, Richard Crafts, a professional pilot and part-time police officer, became the prime suspect. Richard, fearing exposure of his infidelity, opted for a gruesome path. He murdered Helle, dismembered her body with a chainsaw, and scattered her remains into the Housatonic River using a wood chipper. The alteration of the crime scene was meticulously planned. Richard's attempt to erase physical evidence and create an illusion of Helle's disappearance was indeed chilling. But justice was not to be fooled. Small fragments of human tissue, bone, and Helle's tooth surfaced near Lake Zoa, leading to Richard's arrest and subsequent conviction for her murder in 1989. The second narrative takes us to Durham, North Carolina, and the curious case of Kathleen Peterson. On a cold December night in 2001, novelist Michael Peterson dialed 911, claiming his wife Kathleen had fallen down the stairs and was unconscious. Kathleen was discovered at the bottom of the staircase, drenched in blood, with severe head injuries. Michael maintained that she had tumbled down the stairs under the influence of alcohol and Valium, but evidence suggested a different story. Blood spatter analysis hinted that Kathleen was beaten elsewhere in the house and then strategically positioned at the foot of the stairs to mimic an accidental fall. Michael Peterson was initially found guilty of Kathleen's murder in 2003. However, the conviction was later overturned due to issues with the forensic evidence. In 2017, he entered an Alford plea to voluntary manslaughter, conceding that the evidence could convict him while still proclaiming his innocence. Our final story brings us to Knoxville, Tennessee, and the bizarre death of Drew Thornton. Drew, a former narcotics officer turned drug smuggler, met an untimely end in September 1985. He was discovered dead, donned in a parachute and clutching a duffel bag loaded with cocaine. Thornton had parachuted from a plane carrying an enormous stash of cocaine, but his parachute failed to deploy correctly, resulting in his demise. In a bid to misguide investigators, Thornton's associates relocated his body to a residential area post-mortem, arranging it in an unusual position to conceal the true circumstances of his death. Despite their attempts to create confusion, the peculiar nature of Thornton's death sparked a wider investigation that eventually led to the dismantling of his drug smuggling network.